What's going on? This is your man John Fortune, your host of the Frustrated Fan Sports Show. Fast and Furious this week, right? But today is my season prediction show. Now, I know a lot of y'all have sat up here and followed me, and which I've accurately predicted Washington's seasons recently. I told y'all we was going to win 7 games Ron's first year. That's exactly what happened. I told you we was going to win 7 games Ron's second year. That's exactly what happens. Ron's third year, I was 1 game off. 1 game off. But again, we basically had another losing season. So this year, I'm going to tell y'all something. We're facing a lot of teams that have the one thing that is our problem. And that's a scrambling quarterback. We're going to have problems this year, y'all. I don't think we'll win only 7 games. I think we'll luck up in a few games. But I'm going to be honest with y'all. I know our offense is going to be a whole hell of a lot better. We're going to really need our defense to be big time this year. Like, we're going to need them to be the biggest they've ever been. But I do got us getting some wins I do got us getting some wins. I do got us winning some games. And I got us winning some games that, most of y'all probably didn't see us winning. But I do got us winning some games. So I'm going to start from the very top. Let's start with the Cardinals. The recent trade for Josh Dobbs, it confuses me, but at the same time, I'm not certain what's going to happen. I think they did this to kind of make Kyler Murray feel a little bit more comfortable, because understand this, Kyler Murray will be back this season. He will definitely be back this season. So for everybody that's on this bandwagon that the Cardinals are just going to tank the whole season, don't be so quick to jump on that bandwagon, because Kyler Murray will be back this year. So, I think that down the stretch, they'll probably win a lot of games. So, with that being said, don't think that the Cardinals will be the guys who get the number 1 overall pick, especially if Kyler comes back and they end up succeeding and stuff like that. So, be on the lookout for that. But for this particular one, I do got Washington winning this game. It's going to be a tough one for them, but I think that what will happen is that we'll see this offense and this defense all on the same page for the first time in the season, and we're going to really like what we see. But my big concern is that what happens if this team gets a big head because of the Cardinals win, which leads me into game number 2. And that's against the Denver Broncos. Now, I know that with Russell Wilson there and Sean Payton and the way he calls offense and a lot of things that's going on there, the team doesn't look that good this year. Tim Patrick goes down 2nd year in a row. He goes down with injury. Jerry Jeudy, I think, will be out for week 1, maybe even week 2. So they have a lot of injuries that they're combating already before the season even starts. So I think that a lot of these guys won't be back in time. So I actually got Washington possibly going 2-0 at the beginning of the season, because, again, with the injuries that the Broncos are going to have and the Cardinals not really having a lot of talent wrapped around that team. But again, the one thing I need to go back. The one thing about the Cardinals, they have Drew Terrell. Drew Terrell was here. He knows this defense. He knows the players on offense. He doesn't know the offense, but he knows this defensive group. So we got to be on the lookout for that. But I do have Washington going 2-0 early in the season. Game number 3 is where I feel we might actually get a shootout. I think Washington will try their best to go touchdown to touchdown against the Bills. But again, this will be where we find out if our defense can make a stop. People don't understand this, but the Bills' window for a Super Bowl appearance is closing. Next year will be their final year of actually being contenders, because they're going to be struggling next year, especially with them losing a lot of the players that they needed for this current run. So now you're talking about, as time goes on, it's going to go down. But again, I don't see us beating the Bills. Again, the Bills, like I said, Josh Allen, he's the one thing that this defense struggles with, and that's the scrambling quarterback. So I think that's our first loss of the season. Next is the Eagles. Again, I think that's a loss. I think that's a loss because I'm really concerned about how our defense goes. How our offense operates against that defense. That defense is going to be a tough defense this year, and that's going to be one of those. The Eagles is going to be one of those teams that their intent is to make the Super Bowl. Period. Like they're actually on the Super Bowl or bust train. So with that being said, that first game of the season, we're going to struggle in that game, and I got us losing that game. Next is the Chicago Bears. Again, another scrambling quarterback. You're talking about 3 straight games in a row where you see a scrambling quarterback. And I understand that people may not be as confident in the Bears. I got the Bears being something bigger than what people can expect. I think that they're going to actually leapfrog the Detroit Lions this year. And I think that they might have a chance of actually winning the NFC North. I know a lot of people on the Vikings bandwagon. I think the Vikings are going to go down this year. I think they didn't understand how valuable Dalvin Cook was. And they're going to find out very early on, especially with their defense not being as stout or as strong as it could be. But the Bears, I got the Bears making a huge statement this upcoming season. You already see it in the preseason, the chemistry that Justin Fields and DJ Moore have built, along with sitting up there and you talking about Claypool as a part of this. The defense looks strong this year. So again, the Bears, I got us losing that game. So currently right now, I got us at 2-3. Next is the Atlanta Falcons. Now, this is that toss-up game. Remember, I told y'all we have those games that we're supposed to win and we actually lose. And then we have those games where we're supposed to lose and we actually win. This game is going to be contingent upon Desmond Ridder still being the quarterback at this point. If Desmond Ridder falters anywhere early in the season and Taylor Heineke is the starter on this Falcons game, we're losing this game. And I know a lot of you may be like, oh, John, here you are, a Taylor Heineke stan. I'm not a Taylor Heineke stan, even though I knew he was the best quarterback here. But again, this is one of these situations where Taylor knows the defense. Taylor knows the players. And all y'all who talk about him throwing those YOLO balls, think about a YOLO ball from Taylor Heineke to 6'6" Drake London. Or a YOLO ball to 6'6" or 6'7" Kyle Pitts. You know, along with a nasty run game, and then the fear of Taylor also running. If Taylor is starting by this Falcons game, we're not winning this game, y'all. And I understand that everybody may be sitting here saying, John, Atlanta's not going to be that good defensively. That may be true. That may be true. But again, if this offense that features, if Taylor is in the game during this offense, we're in trouble, y'all. Now, I would rather us see Ridder, but like I said, this win and loss is basically a toss-up, and it's all contingent upon if Desmond Ridder is the quarterback or if Taylor Heineke is the quarterback. Ridder's the quarterback, we win. Taylor's the quarterback, we lose. So y'all can take that for what it is, but understand, that's a toss-up game. So I'm going to give us the win, feeling that Ritter will still be starting by game 6. But if he's not, we're losing that game. So currently right now, I got us at 3-3. That's not that bad. I got us at 3-3 or even 2-4. So that's actually not that bad. Next, we got the Giants. Daniel Jones has looked like the best running quarterback we've ever seen in our entire life. In fact, Daniel Jones pretty much looks like Michael Vick when it comes to the Commanders. I mean, all he does is run on us. He somehow always gets a long run. That's what she said. And he always scores a touchdown on us from running the ball. So this is one of these games that I'm going to be honest with y'all. I think we're going to lose this game. I mean, it's the first Giants game, and we always struggle in the first Giants games every time. We always end up coming back a little bit better in the second games, but the first Giants game, we always struggle in the first Giants game. And, I mean, like I said, Daniel Jones just makes such an impact against us all the time. Now, they don't have a receiving core. And you know what? I'm going to change this. This is going to be a win for us. Because they don't have a receiving core. Their secondary is kind of suspect. And this is where I think that we'll see Eric Bieniemy's offense really flourish. Because their defense isn't as strong or as stout as they really needed to be. Especially on that back end. Especially with losing all those defensive backs. So I'll give us this win. I'll give us this game as a win. So now you're talking about we're now 4-3 on the season. That's actually not bad when you think about it. So now we got Eagles number 2. Now we always do well in the second game of Eagles games. Terry McLaurin always has big games in all Eagles games. He always has a big game. Again, my concern with Terry is that we got to make sure that his toe is not a season-long injury where it's just nagging him the whole time. Because again, if Terry's injury is nagging him in this game, we're not going to see the best of Terry. But I'm not going to see for that, because I do feel that as long as he's resting now, he will be ready and it won't be a long-term injury. But the second Eagles game, that's a hard one, y'all, because again, I just think that the Eagles are marching to the Super Bowl. Again, Super Bowl a bust for them. And I think that for them, they're going to make sure that they're not losing to us. So I think that, again, scrambling Jalen Hurts again, year 2. Even though this will be his first time with a new offensive coordinator, but this offensive coordinator was also his quarterback's coach. So more than likely, this offensive coordinator will give Jalen Hurts a little bit more freedom at the line. So again, like I said, I think that this Eagles game is going to be a loss. Next, I got the Pets, New England Patriots. I actually got us winning this game because I think that hands down we are the better team in regards to this. I think that we're better. We'll more than likely be better quarterback wise. We'll also be better defensive wise and offensive wise than the Patriots. I think we're going to beat the Patriots and we're going to beat them. And I think we're going to beat them handedly too. I think that a lot of people are kind of at a point where they're not as confident in Bill Belichick teams anymore. And I think this is one where Bill Belichick really gets the hot seat after playing us. And I think we win this game. So we beat the Patriots. So far I got us at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wins. And 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 4 losses. So 5-4, again, still pretty good coming down the stretch. That keeps us in playoff contention. So now we see the Seahawks. I think that's a loss. I think that, again, this is another team that I think is going to be very strong this season. I think that they're actually going to be doing very well this season. I think that Geno Smith, knowing that his time is almost up in the NFL, he really wants to do everything he can to march himself as deep as he can into the playoffs. And the team that they built around him is a very good team. So he's going to have a lot of weaponry this year. The defense is completely rebuilt, and they're going to be a tough team to beat. And I do feel we'll lose that game. So now you're talking about we're 5-5. Next is the second Giants game. The Giants always find a way to win against us. And for some reason, I got a feeling that they'll find a way to beat us. Again, last year they didn't really have much of anything on offense when it came to receivers, and they found a way to tie it up against us. So again, this is the second game of the season. I think we'll lose this game because I think that I understand that we necessarily might not go 2 games back to back on losses, but I do feel that this is going to be a tough Giants team coming to play them the second time around. So again, I got us losing that game. So now I got us at 5-6. Cowboys on Thanksgiving. This season, I think we will see Dak Prescott be the most impressive we've ever seen him. And I know as a Commanders fan, as a Washington fan, it's hard for me to say this, but when I saw Dak call plays in the preseason for the backup quarterbacks, that told me that Mike McCarthy has pure confidence in Dak Prescott knowing this offense. Not only that, he coached in the preseason, and he coached the quarterback all the way to a touchdown on the offensive side of the ball. I think we're going to see a completely different Dak, a completely different motivated Dak. Not only that, I think Dak will be in the hunt for the league MVP this year. Because like I said again, when you got a quarterback who's calling plays in the preseason, and he's getting, and like, not only is he calling plays in the preseason, you're talking about him engineering a scoring drive in the preseason as well. That tells me that Mike McCarthy is going to give Dak a lot of control of the offense, and that is going to be insane. I think that this Cowboys team is super dangerous, and for us to see them, the first game we see them is on Thanksgiving in Dallas. We're going to have a problem. I got us losing that game. So you're talking about that's 3 straight losses for us now. So now you're talking about we're now at 5-7. Hold on, make sure. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 5 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6. Yeah, 5-7. So again, you're talking about we're now going down that dark hole. 5-7. We got to find a way to make it up. Then we got the Dolphins. The firepower that the Dolphins have is absolutely insane. And even if you aren't confident in the fact that Tua may stay healthy this upcoming season, they actually signed Mike White to actually back up Tua. So that's going to be an issue for us. And I'm sorry, it's going to be hard to cover up 2 of the fastest receivers in the league and hope and pray that we can find a way to win the game. I just don't see us winning this game. The Dolphins game is a tough game. Should Tua play or should he not play? Again, just Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, those are 2 tough matchups for our cornerbacks to handle. So again, I just feel this is a loss. That puts us at 5-8, y'all. 5-8. Yeah, and that's tough. Next is the LA Rams. I think we're going to win this game. This team, the Rams, are to me a team that's just ready to It seems like everybody's just ready to retire. From the head coach and Sean McVay to Aaron Donald, everybody just seems like they're tired and they're ready to retire. I don't think that Matthew Stafford will be really good this season, and I think he's going to struggle this season. Along with that, I think that defensively we will be able to really impact them a whole hell of a lot. So again, I feel that we will win this game, and this is a game that we will win handedly, especially coming off of 4 straight losses. So again, like I said, I think we'll win this game right out the bat. So that'll put us at 6-8. Now, the very next game after that is the New York Jets. Now, remember earlier, I told y'all, there's always this thing where we lose a game we're not supposed to lose, and we win a game we're not supposed to win. This Jets team, I think this is the game we will win. And the reason why I say that is because Aaron Rodgers, at this point of the season, has always gotten a big head, and it has never failed. Even when he was in Green Bay, as the season goes along and they come down the stretch, Aaron Rodgers always lose games he's not supposed to lose. Then they make the playoffs and they lose in the playoffs. And we will be one of those teams that they lose to down the stretch. I know a lot of y'all are like, oh, hell no, John. Ain't no way we beat the Jets. No, we're going to beat the Jets because Aaron Rodgers is going to help us beat the Jets. And like I said again, this is right at that sweet point that we're getting him to. Like I said, if you ever pay attention to Aaron Rodgers when the season's coming down to the end, he's always gotten a large head. He's always calling out players. He ends up calling out coaches and all types of stuff. And he thinks he's the best guy ever. Next thing you know, he loses key games. And this will be no difference. We will, in fact, beat the New York Jets. And this is actually coming from things. So again, got to see the 49ers. This will be the game that, again, I think our secondary will be a whole hell of a lot better. But I still feel that, that nasty taste that we got in our mouths, that's what she said, was from the fact that Brock Purdy, that we could have actually won that 49ers game if they would have kept tail. A lot of us felt that they should have kept tail in the game, and we would have probably tried to come back, but we saw that 49ers team was just way better than us. Way, way better than us. So with that being said, this is a tough one, y'all, because one thing about the 49ers is if they get an injury, it's hard for them to come back from injuries. And I think down this stretch, I think they might be having some injuries on them. I think they'll probably have a few injuries. So with that, I have us beating the 49ers. And this will be our 8th win of the season. So that is going to be actually good for us. But at the end of the season, we got the Dallas Cowboys. And this, to me, is going to be a loss. Like I said, I think at this point, Dak is going to be full force. He's going to want the MVP. I think that he will be in contention for the MVP voting this year and the possible winning of the MVP. Like I said, the fact that I saw Mike McCarthy let him call plays in the preseason tells me that Mike McCarthy is 100% comfortable that Dak knows the plays. And I know a lot of y'all are like, now Dak, he throws picks. I'm going to tell y'all something. I don't see Dak making a lot of mistakes this year. I could be wrong, but, I mean, like I said, to see a current playing quarterback call offensive plays in the preseason, I've never seen it done before. I've never seen it done before. And that is something that I feel that at the end of the season is going to be our loss. So that puts us at 8-9. Again, consistency from our head coach. We can't never get a winning season, and this is what I think is going to happen. I think we will go 8-9 this season. We have a lot of scrambling quarterbacks at the beginning of the season, and then we have a stretch where it's going to be hard for us to beat people. But again, I think that we will squeak out these 2 wins towards the end. That is my season prediction show. Y'all tell me what y'all think. What do y'all think we're going to do in this upcoming season? Y'all tell me, like, comment, subscribe. Other than that, this has been your man, John Fortune, and this has been the Frustrated Fan Sports Show.